Hello everyone, I hope you all are fine and are doing well. We have completed the third chapter, that is whole numbers. Now let's have a quick recap of this chapter. This is the mind map of the chapter 3, whole numbers. We started the chapter by learning about what are whole numbers. We learned that whole numbers is a set of natural numbers along with the number 0, right? So, whole numbers start with 0 and the smallest whole number is 0. Next we learned representation of whole numbers on a number line, and we represented the whole number starting from 0 which was going up to infinity. We learned how to perform the operations of addition, subtraction, multiplication and division on a number line. Now quickly revise how to perform these operations. For addition, we used to move forward on the number line. That is, we used to move towards the right on the number line. For subtraction, we used to move backwards, that means towards the left on the number line. For multiplication, we used to move ahead and we used to start our operation from the number 0. Multiplication is also known as repeated addition. Last we have division. For division, we used to move backwards and we were continuing our operation till we reached the number 0. Division is also known as repeated subtraction. Okay. After this, we learned about the properties of whole numbers. Under that, we learned about three common properties, that were closure property, commutative property and associative property. We learned these properties for four operations, that were addition, subtraction, multiplication and division. Now let's revise these properties one by one. Let's talk about the closure property. Closure property stands true for addition, which means when we add two whole numbers, the answer obtained is also a whole number. The same thing is applicable for multiplication. When we multiply two whole numbers, the product obtained is also a whole number. Does closure property stand true for subtraction and division? No, it is not always true for subtraction and division. For subtraction, when we subtract two whole numbers, it is not always true that the answer obtained will also be a whole number. Same thing is for division. When we divide two whole numbers, it is not always true that the answer obtained will be a whole number. Okay, now let's go to the commutative property. Now we learn that commutative property is the other name for the order property. Now let's talk about the property for addition, subtraction, multiplication and division. We learned that commutative property stands true for addition and multiplication. That is, if we change the order of the numbers when we add or multiply, the answer will be same. But commutative property is not true for subtraction and division. That is, if we change the order of the given whole numbers, the answer obtained might also change. Let's talk about the next property, that is the associative property. Now associative property is the other name for the grouping property. Now associative property stands true for addition and multiplication. That is, if you group the given numbers in any order, the answer obtained will never change. But the associative property does not stand true for subtraction and division. That is, when we change the order of grouping of the whole numbers, it will definitely have an impact on the answer obtained. Last, we learned about the distributive property of multiplication. Under that, we learned distributive property of multiplication over addition and over subtraction. Now, the last topic that we learned was patterns in whole numbers. Under that, we learned how to form patterns of the given numbers in the form of different shapes, that was square, triangle and rectangle. And we also learned how to form number patterns to make our mathematical operations easier. So students, I hope you have understood the third chapter, that is whole numbers. Practice all the questions that are given in the textbook. Thank you and have a nice day.